What if I told you that some of the most beautiful, cheapest, and safest destinations on Earth are places almost nobody visits? In 2026, millions of travelers still rush to the same crowded cities, Paris, New York, Dubai, while ignoring countries that offer better beaches, better food, better prices, and better experiences. Hidden coastlines, ancient cities, and mind-blowing landscapes are waiting, with fewer tour buses and more real moments. Today, you're about to discover 10 countries that deserve way more tourists in 2026, and number one is so underrated, most people can't even place it on a map. Pack your curiosity. Let's start. Albania, Europe's best-kept secret. If Greece and Croatia had a baby but made it 10 times cheaper, the result would be Albania. With crystal-clear beaches, dramatic mountain ranges, Ottoman towns, and Mediterranean food for half the price, Albania is finally rising. But still underrated. Most tourists visit the Albanian Riviera completely unaware that it's warmer, quieter, and more affordable than most of Europe's hotspots. Drive the coastal SH-8 road at sunset, and you'll wonder why the beaches aren't famous yet. Hike in Theth and Valbona, wander Berat's white Ottoman houses, and end the day with grilled seafood for the price of a coffee in Western Europe. In 2026, still a bargain, still authentic, still yours to discover. Oman, the peaceful side of the Middle East. Forget the flashy skyscrapers. Oman is pure authenticity. Golden deserts, lush green wadis, untouched beaches, and some of the kindest locals on the planet. It's one of the safest Middle Eastern countries, and the only one in the region where you can experience true Bedouin culture without massive crowds. Camp under a river of stars in Wahiba Sands, swim in the emerald pools of Wadi Shab, and watch sea turtles nest along quiet shores. Mosques gleam, forts stand proud, and the call to prayer echoes over peaceful towns. And yes, the night skies here are unreal. In Oman, hospitality isn't a show, it's a way of life. Georgia, the friendliest country in Eurasia. Georgia has everything: the Caucasus Mountains, ancient cave monasteries, wine older than the pyramids, and a food culture so addictive you might not come home. Tbilisi is one of the coolest cities in Europe right now. Digital nomads know it, but tourists still overlook it. One moment you're soaking in sulfur baths, the next you're overlooking a skyline of balconies and fortresses. In the highlands of Svaneti, villages guard thousand-year-old towers, and in Kakheti, wine flows like history itself. Khachapuri, Kinkali, Churchkela, the flavors are bold and generous, just like the people. In 2026, it remains one of the best value destinations anywhere, and one of the warmest welcomes you'll ever receive. Colombia, not what you think anymore. Colombia used to have a reputation problem, but 2026 travelers know better. Today, it's a land of colorful towns, Caribbean islands, Amazon rainforest, and world-class coffee. Medellin has been transformed into one of the most innovative cities in South America, with cable cars gliding over green hills and public art at every turn. Cartagena's walls glow at golden hour, Guadape's rainbow houses pop against a blue lake, and Tirona's beaches hide behind jungle trails. The music never stops. Salsa in Cali, cumbia by the coast, and a rhythm that follows you from city streets to mountain villages. Yet the world still massively underestimates Colombia and misses out on its joy. The Philippines, 7,641 islands of underrated heaven. Thailand gets the crowds, but the Philippines gets the angels. This country deserves 10 times more tourists than it gets. Why? Because the beaches here look like wallpapers. Boracay, Siargao, Palawan, places where the water is so blue it looks edited. Sail between limestone cliffs, dive with sea turtles, and jump into secret lagoons that feel like movie sets. And the people? Some of the kindest in the world. Quick to smile, quick to help, quick to turn strangers into friends. Island hopping here isn't a day trip. It's a lifestyle. Still underrated, still affordable, still paradise. Bosnia and Herzegovina, Europe's most overlooked countryside. Most tourists only visit Croatia. Almost nobody crosses the border into Bosnia, and they miss one of the most beautiful regions of the Balkans. Mountains, emerald rivers, waterfalls, and a historic old town in Mostar that looks like a fairy tale. Watch divers leap from the starry Most Bridge, wander Ottoman streets, and sip strong coffee by the river's curve. In the countryside, rivers slice through canyons and forests hide monasteries. Sarajevo tells a complex story. East meets West, old meets new, resilience meets grace. It's peaceful, cheap, and visually stunning. In 2026, still a hidden gem, still unspoiled. Kazakhstan, Central Asia's wild frontier. Imagine Iceland and Mongolia combined, but 4 times cheaper. Kazakhstan is massive, diverse, and packed with scenery no one expects. Turquoise alpine lakes that mirror jagged peaks. Canyon formations like Mars, carved by time and wind. Endless grasslands where horizons never end. Futuristic cities like Astana, where architecture looks like tomorrow. From Almaty's leafy streets, you can reach glaciers by lunchtime and Golden Steppe by sunset. Nomadic heritage lives on in yurt camps, horseback traditions, and hearty meals that fuel long journeys. This country deserves way more tourists simply because very few people even know what it looks like. Once you go, you won't forget it, and you'll wonder why you didn't go sooner. Portugal, still underrated compared to Western Europe. Yes, Portugal is getting more attention, but nowhere near as much as it deserves. Compared to France, Italy, and Spain, Portugal is cheaper, safer, and often less crowded. The beaches of Algarve, the cliffs near Lagos, and the medieval villages inland, absolutely stunning. Lisbon's trams rattle past azulejo tiles, Porto's bridges span wine-dark waters, the Atlantic breeze tastes like salt and possibility, and the food, world-class. Custard tarts with flaky edges, grilled sardines that taste like summer, and vinho verde that pairs with everything. 2026 will finally be Portugal's breakout year, but it's still undervalued, still soulful, and still a great first-time Europe trip. Mozambique, Africa's most beautiful beaches you've never seen. People visit the Maldives. People visit Seychelles. But almost no one visits Mozambique, even though the beaches are just as beautiful, but twice as affordable. Picture white sand so soft, it feels like flour. Turquoise lagoons, whale sharks, coral reefs, and ultra-fresh seafood eaten with your feet in the sand. Dhows drift past at sunset, and island lodges glow like lanterns on calm water. From Vilanculo to the Bazaruto archipelago, the color palette is impossible. Teal, coral, and gold. This country is the definition of underrated paradise, and tourists, still minimal, still quiet, still bliss. The ultimate underrated country of 2026, Uzbekistan. This will shock many people, but Uzbekistan might be the most underrated country on earth right now. Blue-tiled mosques that sparkle like gemstones, Silk Road cities that feel frozen in time, Samarkand, Bukhara, Khiva, each one a chapter in a story written in domes and minarets, high-speed trains, low prices, safe streets, plov that comforts, markets that dazzle, courtyards that whisper with centuries of trade and travel. It has everything: history, architecture, culture, food, and still almost no crowds. Stand in Registan Square at dusk and watch the tiles catch fire with the last light. In 2026, Uzbekistan deserves millions more tourists than it gets, and one of them could be you. Final question for the comments. Which underrated country on this list surprised you the most? And which one would you visit first in 2026? Tell me in the comments. I'm curious what you think.